I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Bodycam is the most intense, realistic, and immersive PvP multiplayer experience that I have ever played. So in case you missed it, Bodycam, the 5v5 multiplayer FPS from Reynolds Studio, which is a two-man development team. This game's actually developed by a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old, which is insanely impressive, is out in early access on Steam. It is $30, and it's blowing up pretty quick. Obviously, this is a game that has a unique Bodycam perspective. Not a lot of games out there like that, not many at all actually, but if you just look at this game, for obvious reasons, it's being called the most realistic looking game of all time, and after playing it, I can truly tell you that it is true. We've got a lot to talk about in this video about the game, but one of the most immersive aspects of the game is, of course, the Bodycam perspective and the insane Unreal Engine 5 visuals. It's hard to believe that this game was developed by two people. You know, it does have a kind of stylized look, but it ends up being insanely realistic feeling between the visuals and the audio, which is also great. The animations, you know, the ragdoll, when you kill somebody on a roof, when they go rolling off, it looks like real life. The way that people, the character models position themselves when they're crouching through a doorway and holding a gun, it looks like real life. This is clearly not Call of Duty. This is clearly not Apex Legends, and I'm not knocking those games at all. It's not Counter-Strike. It's not PUBG. It sounds crazy, but it looks, feels, and plays like a real life experience, and that's wild to say because, of course, it's still a video game. This is not like real warfare, but it is so immersive, and there's times when you're playing this game where it almost feels like a horror game. There's a weather system in this game, you know, the day and the night cycles through, and when it's dark and you're hearing gunfire and you don't know where anybody else is, it's not like another game. Like, you truly end up moving slow through the environments, looking for any hint of light or hearing any little crunch of footsteps. You really have to play it, but hopefully the footage in this video does it justice. It's absolutely insane. The visuals, the audio in this game, the gun sounds, and so on. It doesn't sound like gunfire in Halo or another game, which is obviously more arcadey by choice. Like, it almost has this like ear-ringing effect, and it doesn't actually hurt your ears, but it sounds more like if you've ever fired a gun in real life, you know what it sounds like, especially if you fired one indoors, you know what it sounds like, and that's actually what the audio on Bodycam sounds like. It's unreal. So after you get aside, you know, the visuals, the audio, which are all insane, right? Like, that's what sets this game apart. How does it play? That's a big question a lot of people have when they come into my stream. You know, okay, it looks crazy, it sounds crazy, but how is it? Is it fun? Yeah, it is definitely fun. Just because of that immersion factor, and it is different. The way the game controls, it is not like another FPS. The way the camera kind of sways when you look side to side, it kind of has like, it feels like a body cam, right? It's almost like you're slightly controlling a camera. It doesn't control like insanely different from another FPS. It's just enough to feel and move different. The guns do have high recoil, but the time to kill is very quick. You kill people in just 1 or 2 shots. But it's fun. It's intense. You do move pretty slow most of the time. You can sprint around the map. Thank God they did not go with a Tarkov-like system where you run out of breath after 5 seconds. It is you don't have stamina, which I love. You can take fall damage. For example, if you jump off the roof of a house, you will die when you hit the ground. But everything here, gameplay-wise, the wall banging, you could shoot through most surfaces like you would be able to in real life. So when you're in these intense firefights inside a house, you can shoot through walls. You've got a flashlight that you can use to illuminate people in the dark. There's a weather system that I mentioned. Everything combines perfectly to make a gameplay experience that is truly one of a kind. And I don't say that very often, and that's why I'm so hyped about this game. There's really nothing else like it on the market right now, and there's still a lot of room for improvement, which I'm going to get to later in the video. There's a roadmap, but I've also got a bunch of ideas and suggestions of my own. I also want to talk about the maps. There's 5 maps in the early access launch of the game. this is a 5v5 game. It plays like a bomb plant mode, like a Counter-Strike or like a Valorant. There is an elimination mode as well, which is just that 5v5, but you just have to kill each other, and that's it. There's also a free-for-all mode with Respawn. I don't expect this to be very popular. It's just not the style of game. I'm glad that it's in there for people to kind of learn the game or change up the pace. But because of the style of the game, you know, this isn't Halo, this isn't Call of Duty. I don't expect a lot of people to be running around in free-for-all playing the Respawn mode. It's good to include it just so people can play it and learn the gunplay and the controls and stuff. But I don't expect it to be insanely popular or take over as the main mode or anything like that. But the 5 maps, they're vastly different. And I want to talk about these because you've got one is an oil rig, which has extreme vertical gameplay. We'll shout out the Dead Drop there. My other channel covers Dead Drop exclusively. Dead Drop and Midnight Society. Check it out, Midnightmare on YouTube. There is an outdoor map in the woods, which is also insanely immersive and does not feel like a multiplayer map at all. It's very hard to get your bearings to tell, you know, where you are in this woods, where the other players are coming from, just like real life. There are 2 different kind of like house settings. One is like a residential house that's all graffitied, feels very realistic, fenced in, almost like their spin on Nuketown, I would say, but even smaller and more gritty and realistic. And then there's like it's called Russian House. There's like kind of like an all concrete house. There's a little courtyard in it. It almost feels like a schoolhouse. It's definitely not a schoolhouse. It's called Russian House. But it a lot of indoor gameplay. And then they've got like a training facility. I think it's called, what's it called? Airsoft House or something like that. But basically like you'd expect like an actual training mode to take place in, you know, with targets and so on, or like a military, you know, a training room that they would have that they would move through with cover, like just wooden walls and so on. That's also in there. That map was my least favorite by far. I did only get to play 1 game on that map so far, and my team got absolutely rolled, so that might be why. But there's definitely maps with indoor combat, outdoor combat, close quarters combat. Most of the maps, you know, the outdoor map aside, you're fighting pretty quickly. This definitely isn't a slow... I don't want to say it's a slow-paced game because it's not. It does a great job. What I'm trying to say, it is slower paced and tactical. You do die very quick, but it is not a game, you know, especially given its 5v5 gameplay. It's not a Tarkov. It's not an extraction shooter. You're not running around unable to find people, but we will get to something about that here in just a second. After you die in Bodycam, you take control of a drone and you can actually fly it around and use it to gather intel for your team or distract enemy players. Not everybody's probably going to like this. This might be a more controversial feature, but you don't just spectate. I do have to say, however, that spectating in this game is really cool. It's got, you know, again, from that like helmet cam or body cam perspective. Again, very cool, very immersive. Most games spectating is pretty boring. This game, it's so damn immersive that I actually enjoy it, so long as the person I'm spectating is doing something interesting and playing the game the way that it's meant to be played. Going back to the drone thing, though, the game does use proximity chat, and you can still use your proximity chat while you're in your drone. So again, if you find somebody, you know, you see them camping in a corner, you can fly back to your teammate, tell them, hey, they're upstairs, they're to the left, camp in a corner or whatever. Bear in mind, you can be shot down as the drone, and that's when you go into the true just spectating mode. You only get 1 life in your drone. All right, and that brings us to a couple of the critiques that I have of the game. Again, it is early access, and it is only a 2-man development team. What they've done here is insanely impressive. There's just a couple things that I think that need to be mentioned. The first one is the rounds, and this probably is because of the way the game works right now. It is like a server list. It's a browser list. There's no true matchmaking yet. They took the quick play out of the game. It didn't seem to be working at launch. It'll probably come back. But because, you know, it's host driven, which is very old school, which some people may like actually, the rounds need to have a time limit. Absolutely. A lot of the games that I got in did not have a time limit, and you would have, you know, these last 2 players in a match camping and not wanting to move because, again, there are times when this game is like legitimately like scary, and you're afraid to die. It's dark. You can't you don't know where the other person or the other team is. You don't know how many people are alive. It's very realistic. I saw somebody just sit under a staircase for literally like 5 minutes, and it just did a simple round timer, you know, limiting the rounds to 3 minutes or something like that, would have also resolved that problem, because their whole rest of our team was just sitting there, watch this guy sit in the darkness and not move until somebody finally found the guy. So a time limit on rounds definitely needs to be implemented. That's that other thing, that just the servers, you know, are they going to have a quick play? Are they going to have matchmaking? There's all sorts of things we're talking about that can be added to the game over time, like progression, but will they move beyond this server browser thing? I'm sure they'll get quick play in there. How they're going to handle that, I don't know. Will they have a ranked mode? Will they have matchmaking? They already have leaderboards. The leaderboards seem to work kind of weird. I would just like to see it go to something very simple, like you know, just count all of our kills. Like whoever has the most kills in the community is the #1 player. If you're concerned about how many people are playing this game, like if you're watching it and going, okay, it looks cool, but you know, a lot of games these days, the communities are quite small, and you can't even run games all the time or something like that, or you need to play against bots. As of now, there's no bots in Bodycam, and the player base seems to be great. I know I've seen at least 80,000 people on the leaderboard so far, which that was as low as I was, so there may be more behind me. Twitch viewership has boomed as high as 50K, as from what I saw last night during launch. So there's definitely a lot of people playing this game, interested in this game. So if that is your concern, player base should not be concerned at all. And speaking of the future, there's already a roadmap for Bodycam, which is great. Q2, they've got listed, they need bug fixes. I have not seen a single bug in this game, by the way. I'm sure there are some, but I haven't really seen anything other than some server instability, which I'm sure will get ironed out. Performance improvements. I have a really high-end PC, so I have no complaints at all, but it is a very graphically intense game, so I'm not sure how everybody else is faring. Anti-cheat improvements. Did not see a single cheater. And then adding more maps. Q3, more weapons, character skins. Right now, there's not really much of a shop. There is some stuff in there that you can earn free currency for. You don't have to buy anything, but there is some stuff just to throw it in there. More maps, a zombie game mode, which honestly sounds really fun with how realistic this game looks, how well it animates the audio. I'm super excited to see that. NVIDIA DLSS. Then Q4, a new game mode, maps, photo mode, multiple languages, more to come. New game mode. I really do have to wonder, will it be... I gotta say it. Will there be a battle royale in Bodycam? I gotta say it. I don't expect there to be, but I just gotta say it. And just playing the game myself, I could already come up with a lot of ideas for future content in this game. Of course, there's no battle pass right now. That'll just add that. Some type of progression system. Again, right now they've got a leaderboard, but some type of progression and unlocks or whatever. And then again, just for guns, there's already room for lots of new guns, or adding like silencers, an automatic shotgun, like with a drum mag, a revolver, you know, you actually have to dump the chamber, or the wheel, I should say. You know, an auto pistol, a burst gun like an M16 or something like that, a bolt action rifle, lever action rifle. The different guns in this game really do make a difference. You know, right now the way it works is everybody gets the same gun at the beginning of every round. So one round, you know, there is everybody spawns with deagles. The next round, everybody spawns with pump shotguns. The next round, everybody spawns with an AK. The next round, everybody spawns with an M4 or a UMP, so on. And that's a question a lot of people may ask is, as this game evolves, will they implement like an economy? Something similar to like a Counter-Strike or a Valorant? We don't know. I could definitely see that happening. Doesn't seem like too much of a stretch. Again, early access, step one. The way the game works now, I'm totally fine with it. Because it's such a new experience, I'm okay with just everybody spawning with the same gun every round. It's a good way to learn the game, learn the different guns, learn the recoil, all that stuff. So that's it for this video, guys. I didn't script it. I can't stop talking and thinking about this game. Again, there is nothing like it on the market right now. This is the most immersive, realistic FPS unique experience that I've played in a long time. If you're a fan of tactical shooters, a fan of mil sims, a fan of, you know, FPSs in general, if you're looking at this game and you think you're interested in it, I highly recommend it. It is an experience worth the $30. And again, it's a two-man indie development team. I think supporting them is something you can feel good about. This to me is a feel-good story for gaming in 2024. Very happy to support this game. I hope to see it grow. I can't wait to see the content they add to the game over time. And it, again, a truly innovative experience that I'm thrilled to be playing and just for us to have. It's games like this that reignite my passion for gaming, and I can't wait to see where this team takes Bodycam. So if you want to watch more videos like this, I love to cover unique and games that you guys should play just like Bodycam. So subscribe to the channel, check out my other channel, again, Midnight Mare. We cover Dead Drop and Midnight Society exclusively. I have a Dead Drop short film over there. I'm working on my second one right now, and I really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think of Bodycam if you played it down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video. Reynolds out.